Hello and welcome to Eastern Horizon live broadcast. This is Malik Ayub Sumbal.
This is Jiarong.
Thank you very much for joining this another live broadcast that we are doing on the Eastern Horizon Facebook page. And today the topic that we are going to discuss is about the Russia-Ukraine peace talks. We saw that this news has been to the international media for the last couple of days, but then simultaneously we saw that there is a very big momentum, and almost all the international media, especially the Western media, it becomes the headlines of these possible peace talks. So there have been 28 points draft peace talk that has been circulated on the media. Several media outlets have published this, and so there is also new debate on this 28 points draft resolution, that how it's going to be practical and pragmatic in terms of the implementing and to achieving the peace between Russia and Ukraine. So I think that there is also a lot of speculation about this possible peace deal, that where it's heading and what is the conclusion of this peace talk. So I think, Jarang, you have, I think, some interesting questions that would be in the mind of a lot of people who are watching us. So what you have, your first, the question that you have.
Yeah, my first question is why has this peace deal progressed so rapidly, and why has this momentum built in the past few days?
Yeah, that is very interesting because as Donald Trump and the Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, they met in Anchorage in Alaska, and then there was people expecting that there could be some major breakthrough in this, that the peace towards Russia and Ukraine. But after that, several weeks and months passed, and there was not any development from the both sides. But now it seems that the ice has been melting from the poles, right, after this, that major breakthrough. But there are some other grounds and some other realities that we can talk about this, that why Donald Trump is so eager to conclude this deal, and what is the challenging that he could face in future. Because one of the major thing that is that Donald Trump is losing very rapidly his popularity graph into the United States after his immigration policies and several policies. And one of the major setback that he faced is in the form of the losing the mayor election of the New York. So he lose, and I think that then we saw that the election promises and his slogans that he made, that he was going to end this, because Ukraine peace talks and Ukraine-Russia war was one of his major election motto, and it was a major slogan that he gives to his voters, that he is going to come and he is going to end all the wars. But I think that his losing popularity, I think that it could make him insecure, that maybe in the next couple of months after, when there is going to be some midterm elections, so maybe if he will not get any popularity and some majority, then I think that it could be challenges for him. And another thing that that has also happened in this time, that Donald Trump faced one of the longest government shutdown of his government. So these are the things I think that that could make him very much speed up to move this deal.
Yeah, so we really want to accelerate this process.
Exactly, they want to accelerate. But then, of course, that that this is 28 points draft resolution. So this resolution, I think that there is a lot of reservations to different stakeholders. So I think that you have something more to talk about. That you have the next question.
Yeah, so what's the current position of Europe and the United States regarding this peace agreement?
Yeah, the U.S. and Europe, I think they are currently. I remember there is a very famous famous incident in the history, that there was the Berlin, and there was the East Wall and the West Wall, and there was the Berlin Wall, and this thing actually makes the European and the Western to collide with each other in the interest. So I think that same time we are facing also the same. Like now we are witnessing the history is repeating itself, that yes, they are going towards the same thing, that now Europe and United States, they both have this debate, that who has spent more expenditure, they have more cost of war on Ukraine, mean that the Europe is saying that they have spent 197 billion US dollar
That's a lot.
into war, and similarly the US also have 130 billion that they spent. So I think that they are now fighting with each other, that who spent more on the war and who will bear the cost. So that's why they are even saying that mean that who have the overspending bill, like one of the major mean that the point in this draft resolution is this, that the rebuilding and the reconstruction of the Ukraine, who will have to pay?
Yeah, who will
so
have to
so
pay?
this is the question right now raising, and according to this draft resolution that the US has put it says that the 100 billion has been paid by those assets that has been Russian assets
Yeah.
that are in the Europe.
Yeah, the
And
frozen.
then the US also asked that the 100 billion be paid by the Europeans. So the Europeans said that we are already overspending in this war.
Yes,
So they are right now bargaining and they are negotiating that who will have to be pay more and who will have the more benefit. So ultimately this is mean that this draft resolution seems like more, mean that it is ultimately the people of the Ukraine who have suffered this humanitarian crisis. So these wars always bring like the billions of dollars game for the West and for the United States, and that is happening right now. Ultimately, what is the benefit for the Ukrainian people? Because these are the people who lost their lives. These were the Ukrainian people. But what comes out from this war is at billions and billions of the spending of the Western and the United States. So I think that that is really one of the aspect that that bring the attention of the world and the suffering of the people, that ultimately what comes out, ultimately at the end this is the game of the billions of the dollars, and now they are dividing that who will have to spend and who will have to get more from this these things.
Yes. So how might Russia respond to this issue? Like
I think that the Russians, as I monitor the Russian media and the Russian statements from some Russian channels, so I think Russia is also very carefully mean that observing this thing, and I think that Russia has categorically said that any deal or any draft resolution that contradicts to the Moscow interest, so I think that Russia reserved the rights to knock out and to kick out and not to be part of this deal. Yeah.
Yeah, so like Russia, according to the Reuters, their spokesman thinks like this kind of issue is quite, still have a long way to go. It's quite premature for this agreement.
Yes, indeed, because these resolution are these mean that the points that they mentioned here, I think it's all like that mostly these are mean that it is not the it is not the people of the Ukraine actually who have to say, or the Ukraine have to mean accept these things, because most of this draft resolution, I think that there are major contradiction that is coming here between the Europeans and between Americans, because they also mentioned here that there will be arm sales embargo. That means that no one will sell weapons to Ukraine, but the Europeans, the European Commission has said that they will provide the financial support and they will vote to give the weapons to Ukraine. So it means that this is a major conflict. And then there is another point that could be a serious conflict, and Russians have the reservation on this thing, that Ukraine could be eligible to get the membership of the European Union. And if European Union's membership could be extended to Ukraine, so that's mean that the NATO could be stationed there. And one of the clause that they mention in this resolution is this, that NATO agreed not to station troops in Ukraine. So these are things that mean that are very much, like you can say that it's very much polished, and these clauses are very attractive, but mostly the benefit goes to Americans in this deal. And then they also say that there should be the guarantees. So the problem is this, that United States is not a trustable and a reliable guarantor. We saw what happened into the Iran and Iran deal, because Donald Trump, when his first term, we remember very clearly that there was joint comprehensive agreement between Iran and between the United States, and there I think that the Europeans were also on board. And what happened, that when the Joe Biden he comes into the office, so he knocked out. So the problem is this, that the track record of the United States being a reliable guarantor or being a reliable negotiator, they don't have this kind of this track record. So who will be the major guarantor in all these things tomorrow if there is any other government comes in the United States and they will step out? So I think that these are the things that United States is not into the moral and ethical position to give the guarantees of such kind of deals. Yeah.
So, in your view, like what are the key points that still remain ambiguous in this 28 points?
Yeah, I think that there is a lot of ambiguity in this, and the problem is this, that there is not one thing. There are several things. There are several things that could be confusing, and it could not be achieved overnight. But I think that that of course everyone wants that there should be some peace between Russia and Ukraine. But the problem is this, that the Ukraine stance, that the way the problem started here, so Russia still under that this vulnerable position, that tomorrow if anything happened, what could be the repercussion and who will be the responsible for all this kind of the situation there? Yeah.
Yeah, who will be responsible? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, like on Wednesday, Russia stated that the leak of a recording of a call, like between top advisors to Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, was an unacceptable attempt to like undermine the Ukraine already paced negotiations process. So, what's your comment on that?
I think yes, that is something like if a telephonic call has been leaked, I think that is a serious breach of any contract or any agreement that is taking place between two different states. So I think that yes, Russians have serious reservations on this thing, that why this leak call has been made public and how it's been leaked. So I think that these are all the things that could undermine, of course, this ongoing peace negotiations. Yeah.
Yes, and we can see like at the very beginning the total terms are 28, but slowly like it changing to 19 or even 22 according to President Trump. So how do you think about this change, the amount of change?
Of course, that this is the US proposal. Then the Europeans have the reservation. Then Russian will, of course, definitely they will give their own suggestion on this, which thing they have to accept and which is not. But I think that this is a multi-party agreement. It's not only that the United States who just put these kind of this impose this draft resolution on the other countries, because there are many stakeholders who have their stakes. So definitely it could comes to the all parties, and then after that they will have, I think that there will be several rounds. But that as far as the Donald Trump strategy is concerned, so he want to achieve this overnight. So but let's see that how next couple of days and the hours will unfold this situation. But of course ultimately it has to go to the different parties.
Yeah. So yes, so
Yeah.
they just like workshopped frenetically over the weekend to change it to new terms.
Exactly. This is the situation. So I think that we will see now that maybe we have some questions that could be from our audience. So I think we would let me see that if there is, we will definitely love to answer the questions. So we saw that yeah. So I think that we will keep on this topic, and we will definitely answer in the follow-ups. If there is any questions, you can just post on our Eastern Horizon page, and we would love to answer the questions that would be in the minds of our followers. And I think we will end for today broadcast here. And yeah, you have something?
Yeah, it just it occurred to me like who should decide the terms of peace according to you, like Washington, Brussels, or Kiev?
That of course the major that the US has a big say. Similarly, that the Ukraine, they have their own interest there. But I think that one of the resolution here is this, that that Ukraine should bound to have the elections in 100 days. So I think that after 100 days, who would be in the government in Ukraine? But of course, the major stakeholders are that the Russia, United States, Europeans, and of course that the other countries who have mean that international existence are they have to play some role. I think that in this.
So
Yeah.
it seems like we are now still in the midst of a pendulum swinging. For the final.
Hope so, because things are going on. Because not only there are different stakeholders. I mean that who is Turkey is also one of the
Turkey.
stakeholder there, because they were also negotiating. But of course there is that the major spending is this from is between the Europe and the United States. But of course Russians must have that the acceptance. Otherwise, if Russia will be not on board,
Yeah.
Russia will not have a reservation. How could be this peace negotiation could led on?
Yes, Russia definitely should be involved in.
Indeed, because they are that they are the major party in this conflict. Yeah.
So maybe we have some comments.
Yeah, I think we don't have, but I think that we can conclude this broadcast, and we will. I think that we should we end our broadcast? I think. Yeah. So if you have any questions, you can send us in our comments, and you can follow our page. From next week, we will be simultaneously go live on X, YouTube, and Facebook. So you can follow our page, and in the week also, and hope to see you next Thursday. Some other interesting topic with some other possible analysis and comments. So thank you very much for joining.
Thank you very much for joining.